What's going on, guys? Oofsky here, and today we're taking a look at the Beguir-Beu, the second high grade from the Gundam The Witch Prologue. I'm really excited for this kit. The Ilfrith really knocked it out of the park, and I'm very excited to see what this more atypical mobile suit design has to offer with the new advancements that we saw from the Ilfrith. Starting off, box art is impeccable. I love that we have this heck. My Plague Marine. Okay, so I just knocked over a model I've been painting. Speaking of Plague Marines, though, I'm branching out into other kinds of content to bring you guys more content offerings on the channel. You guys like 40K? Enough of that. We got rabbits. We got... I don't know what he's supposed to be. Beguir-Beu phonetically kind of sounds like Bugaboo to me, like a boogeyman, kind of my evocative monster, that sort of thing. I just get like a frog vibe from him, though. I don't know. She's a rabbit. This could be a frog. It's dueling artwork. These guys, you mash them up together, it looks like they're about to square off. They're coming at each other with everything, with these like kinetic pods, with the receiver gun. It's very stunning. They look so great. I'm sure that on physical store shelves, these must look beautiful together. Turning it over, this guy's got a lot of offerings. I love these like beam blades that they've got, and I'm interested to see how the pod does. Looks like just like the Full Mechanics Raider Gundam, we get an extra stand for that ball pod, which I'm really excited about myself. And she's got some impeccable high heels like a Graze, so that'll be pretty cool. Let's open it up. Loving this mauve. That's just fancy purple. I'm sorry. I'm talking like I own a gold. You know, one of those designer dogs. Golden Doodles. That's pretty though. These are not beam parts. No polycaps again. The future is bright and there are no polycaps in it. Let's build it. Making its debut in the Gundam Witch from Mercury Prologue, the Beguir-Beu was developed by the Grassley Defense Systems, which is one of the leading heavy industry manufacturers within the G-Witch setting. This high-performance machine is on the absolute cutting edge of technology and was deployed by the Dominicus Corps, which is made up of private soldiers of the Mobile Suit Development Council formed by various mobile suit manufacturers in order to destroy Gundarms, or Gundam as they would be known, which are special mobile suits that utilize the Gund format mobile suit technology and were feared due to their potential to upset the power balance between Spacians and Earthians. And if you guys want to hear more about that, you can check out my Gundam Ilfrith review that we did earlier this week. The Beguir-Beu has a lovely high-heeled feet that end in sharp talons, similar to the Asmodee from Iron-Blooded Orphans Erder Hunt, which is also a fantastic high-grade model, should you be interested. Also included are beam gun gauntlets that also have detachable physical bayonet swords, which are a lovely mint green too. And most notably are the non-kinetic pods, which are a more finely tuned version of the ECM equipment that was used to put an end to the drone war that was fought previously. You know, kind of reminds me of the Calamity War that always got mentioned in Iron-Blooded Orphans. There seem to be a lot of similarities between the G-Witch and the post-disaster timelines, the more I think of it. These wire-guided pods, or fake funnels as was known in the narrative Gundam as like an offhanded joke, are known as non-kinetic effectors, and these lock onto enemies and pursue them while launching an antidote attack that interferes with gun format links on the Gundams and renders them useless. The Beguir-Beu's backpack is also full of lots of sensors and navigation assisting technology for space operations. This backpack can also be detached from the main mobile suit to force rapid sequence cooling if necessary as well. Now, some interesting build notes on the construction of the main trunk is that it happens all at once. There is not a segment for the torso and waist that you normally see with mobile suits in the high grade line. The legs can also be built directly and entirely off the same directions. They're universal, much like you would see on a 30-minute missions kit. I would like to note also that on the D runner, which contains a lot of those lavender pieces that you can see here, especially on those parts that make up the beam gauntlet, they have some really nasty gates that reminded me a lot of when I built the high grade Wyndham. They're just placed really awkwardly, and it makes cutting them a little iffy. I would get in there with a hobby knife and clean it up if you can, as best you can. Lastly, it's articulation and notes time. First off, I'm very impressed that this kit has kind of an atypical silhouette, even with the new constructions that we are undertaking with the high grade line. It's still very sturdy, and I really appreciate that. It builds even more so like a 30-minute missions kit in that these legs are universal, but they're very solid, no polycaps. They're very lovely. I love the use of the convex lenses to really throw the light, give us more dynamic views. The feet are also really cool. It kind of has those Gundam Asmodee talons. These can grip because the top nail folds, which is really cool. It's a nice detail. It also allows, when you're posing, you can really like make it more posable and durable for those poses by folding that nail down so that it's not just pointing. Much like the Bile and other very angular kits, I love the exaggeration of all of these lines. These point up, the shoulders can swivel up, the head points up, these point. All of these exaggerations throw the angles and create a very dynamic and imposing silhouette, and I adore that. The kit can also hold a variety of poses, even though it is a little top heavy because of this large backpack. The articulations and the sturdiness of the kit with no polycaps, it's able to really hold those deep bends so you can still pose it despite having such a heavy backpack as it does. One thing I would like to note is that the packaging says that it gives you everything to display one of the pods. If you finagle it a little bit, you can display both of those pods because they give you a second set of the pieces required to attach the non-kinetic ball like at its base. The wire they use on this is different, I would like to note. The Zeong Real Grade, the Raider Gundam, they all use a thicker, more sturdy wire. And while this does bend, it's a lot more like flimsy. So it is a little underwhelming. I would say you could potentially swap this, just compare the thickness to make sure it'll still fit on those parts. And you could also cut this in the middle to display both of those pods at once. You do only get one stand. However, if you guys go over to leapingpandahobbies.com, that's right, leapingpandahobbies.com, where you can get new kits, old kits, and most importantly, if you want to display both of these polyball pods, you can get yourselves a Full Mechanics Raider Gundam. Full Mechanics Raider Gundam, who has one of these stands included and is a very fun and interesting build, will allow you to display both of these polyball pods at one time. And the mace included in the Raider Gundam is one of the most fun weapons that I've ever built and played with. I still take it around and swing it around and do my best Bruce Lee impression with it. It's a lot of fun. And not only does Leaping Panda Hobbies have the best customer service, best shipping speeds, best prices, I've partnered with them to give you guys an extra 10% off your entire order. You can use my promo code EGGHEAD. That's promo code EGGHEAD for 10% off your entire order, no matter what it is you want to buy. The future of Gunpla is looking really bright with these high grades. I have to say, I am so very impressed with these first two G-Witch kits. The Beguir-Beu and the Ilfrith are both very solid, and I am looking forward to the rest of the line. I know that they've already come out the gate so fast, and the shoes that they have left to fill on these next kits are going to be quite large, like some Peggy Hill sized feet. But I'm looking forward to them a lot. If you guys are new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and like and subscribe. It's free, helps the channel out. If you guys have been with us for a while, thank you for watching. And as always, I will see you later next week with another Gunpla review.